that's what made me feel like in the real life, dripping all the sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah.
Look at you go. Okay, you ready? Look. Go. Go. Look at you go. Okay, you ready? Look.
Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. It's bad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over baby. Put the bread on me, bet on my bacon. Big and flat in the bacon, I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Have a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can. Yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, 20 slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young. Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, but the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma stand up. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you wanna stuff for. Money, that machine. The Ferragamo store. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. After life in 9/11, folks. Matte back, liquor clean. Dead presents in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Patience thinner than a penny hoe.
Over here, empty your pockets. I don't do that. You might frisk me. You do what I tell you. Get over here. He's gonna get this.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the New York Jets. With that, we head up to MetLife Stadium as we'll hand it over to the two men that'll call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go. And it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
I don't know about you, but I love a good undrafted free agent success story. So let's take a look at Robbie Anderson, the wide receiver, because in 2017, 63 catches, 941 yards, and a strong candidate for the Pro Bowl. Didn't quite get there, but was knocking on the door. How about that for an undrafted free agent out of Temple, now making good in the NFL?
Now Ben on third and long. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? Third and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
That's pulled in at the 32. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line. It's the tight end. It's your wide receivers. Everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Alfred Blue, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Crowell. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Nathan Shepard in there to make the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And it's incomplete. The first down line at the 34 here on third down.
Richmond.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th.
Down. Back 22.
From the gun, here's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
This is the running back, Blue. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
On the carry, this is Blue. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll try the air now with Watson. This will be caught at about the 5. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally. And as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space. So you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Jets set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They keep it with Crowell on 1st. Quick feet by Crowell. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to wind up. He's got it at the 15. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 46 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
They'll try and run for it with Crowell. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Ready? Blue 30!
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They are, however, facing a 4th down, and the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Myers able to knock it through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And what we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it, because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball in that because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Tiger!
They run with blue, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And a solid run down inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
That's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
And that'll be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Now Roethlisberger dumps off to Powell, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Hey, set! Black 30!
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Blue 30!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Set! Black 20!
Here's a give to Crowell. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are able to make this a close game again.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Here's a give to Miller. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
They'll toss it to Miller. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Trying to regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up 1st down after 1st down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human 1st down machine? I think that fits.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 10 more there and another 1st down.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really good pickup of 28 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout.
Flag down and out, feel it.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Alfred Blue with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Texans will extend their lead. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. We focus our attention now on the quarterback. And New York set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one goes for 24 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Whitney Merciless in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Herndon's got it complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And our attention shifts to Alfred Blue. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Back to throw, Watson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. The Texans on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. It got his man complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big gain of 38 there on third down.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, and so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Richmond. Back 22.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll bring up second down. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Again, it's Miller. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Watson on third down. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Come back, come back. Red, black 22.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On first down, it's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No
no
yards.
yardage. Okay.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. The Texans on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 10. Now Miller. He's had a big workload here tonight. Quick move by Miller. And down inside the 15 he goes. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They go play action here on first down. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
4 down, 4 down. Set! Like 20. Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike, 40 seconds.
They'll run it again with Crowell. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And, you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Set! Blue 30.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now out comes Houston. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Black 99, feel it.
Now a handoff to Miller. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Reset. Richmond.
Now a handoff looking right. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll try and run again with Blue. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position. Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Black 22.
On second down, here's Watson. Catch here, left side, Thomas. Touchdown, Houston. Demaryius Thomas, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Texans will extend their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Jets. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
That's taken on the 25. 12 yards on the return that time. Demaryius Thomas gets set to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Reset.
Now they try the right side here. Room to run inside the 40. That good for 22 and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
That good for 19 and a first down.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
He's going to get it running right. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Flag down and I feel it.
And they'll go on the ground. Blue hit. He lost the football. And the Jets have recovered. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control. Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating...
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And I do believe the offense got this back. Goodness, they did. Their own 1-yard line is where they got it back, cutting it close here. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And now out comes Houston. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Texans on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete.
Come back, come back.
Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Here we go on 4th. Watson going deep for Hopkins. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game, and the Texans add on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Set! Blue 30.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And you can see they'll be the AFC South representative, but for the moment at least, they'd still need to host a wild card game in that first weekend. Not the worst thing in the world.
Not the worst thing in the world, but for the AFC South as a division, hoping that this will be the representative that wins that first round, because it's been a little while since that's happened. So they're hoping to actually use that game, get a win, and advance deeper into the playoffs. It's been a short run in recent seasons. When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan.
And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Jets have recovered.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Set. Black 80. 55. Black, what's that? Heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edges. Black,
out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man, Isaiah Crowell. And chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A very solid gain of 27.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Isaiah Crowell with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. Now, he's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Lamar Miller. Quick move by Miller. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him? Give him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Here's Blue. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
We could talk about bend but don't break all we want, but the defense now, we're going to find out just how flexible and pliable they really are. Can they bounce back after that type of a run, that type of momentum against them, and find a way to slow down this offense?
He's going to get it running right. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here's Miller. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wide open receiver complete. 30. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20, 10, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
It's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Blue 30. Black, what's that?
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Here's Roethlisberger. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. And Watson's going to throw it here. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On 2nd and 10, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. This is caught inside the 15. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception.
And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 23. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Hendrickson. Now the Texans will use one of their two remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Black 80.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Blue 30.
Here's Roethlisberger. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jarvis Jenkins in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Throwing now, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the